Okay, so we've built our first sort of 4 tables here, and we've got heads around the idea, hopefully by now, that if you want every single copy of a DVD to have its own unique ID number, and you have multiple copies of the same DVD, then you're going to need to break the DVDs into these 2 tables. Now, this particular video isn't going to be anything really quite advanced. All I'm going to do is walk you through setting up the customer database, or the customer table in this particular database. So I'm going to just close this relationship down for a moment, and we'll create table in design view. Now, we always start off with an ID field. I'm going to call this customer ID. Some people do tend to say, well, okay, we can have, like, I don't know, if you could have a customer ID of DJP01, and then if there was another DJP with the same initials, there would be DJP02, and you could use text field with input master. Do you know, you can do that if you want to. I can't be bothered. I just set everything as an auto number, and I want to now just, of course that's going to be our primary key, so let's make it so. Now, people's names, it always amazes me the number of students that kind of get this wrong. My name is Mr. David Phillips. Unless you're going to go down the argument of a Ronaldo type footballer argument, everyone has a title, a first name and a surname. So we're going to put in title, and we're going to put in let's get it right, first name, and we're going to put in surname. Now, if you want, you can fiddle around with the field sizes on each of these. Again, it's not really advisable to have a first name as field size 50. Longest first name I can really think of is something like Christopher. So, personally, I tend to go 15 for first name, and I tend to go for 25 because should be double-barreled surnames. Now, in title, I am going to use something which I said I wasn't going to use, a lookup wizard. But this time, I am actually going to type in the values that I want. Now you're probably saying, but hold on a minute, he did those tables with certificate and genre, and he said no, don't use, you must look things up. Well, to be honest with you, the reason for certificate and genre and having those in a table is because you might at some point in the future want to change those. When I was a kid, you didn't have PGs and 12 A's and all that. It was, if I recall rightly, you had a U, an A, a double A, and an X. I think a triple X as well for films that no one should be watching. But yeah, that was a certificate. So, they might change it in the future, and to do that, if you want to change things, it's better to do it in a form which we're going to come to much later on. That's why I tend to store those in separate tables. But with people's names, their title, well, it's really just going to be Mr., Mrs., Ms., and Miss, I think. Could go down the doctor argument, but you know, I'm just going to leave it as that. I would just simply just go, look, we'll click in here and we'll just put in Mr. And as one appears, the next one, as you type in, the next one appears, we'll have Ms., we'll have Miss, and yeah, alright, we'll have Doctor. Now I know some of you are going, yes, we can have Flight Lieutenant and things like that. Well, to be honest, if someone came into my video store and argued with me that they're not going to join up because they want to be known as Flight Lieutenant rather than Mr., Mrs., Miss, or Ms., then quite frankly I would just say, yes, see you later. I don't really want you as a member of my video store. I'm just going to leave it at that, but these will never change. So that's why I'm not going to store them in a separate table, because I'm just going to leave it like that. And also because storing in separate tables really to do with getting a database down to sort of a minimal size as possible. Well, you know, these fields are only a couple of characters each, so I'm not going to be too concerned about that. I'm just going to press finish. Also, notice Miss was the longest one, so I think we'll change this 50 to a 4. Oh, not 504, that's for sure. 4. Now, another thing that always gets me, people break down addresses into sort of loads of different formats, and just look, just trust me, just go ADD, we'll put address, line 1, and we'll put address, line 2. Let's get rid of that one, and we'll put town, county, and postcode. Once again, if you want to, you can fiddle around with these numbers, but because I'm only looking at the structure of the database here, I really, let's do it. Be the right thing to do. First line, I don't know, let's say 30. Oh, not 500,030. Let's say 30. Address line 2, again 30. Town, I don't know, 25. County, well, I suppose it depends. If it's a little local video database, you wouldn't really have anyone. If you're in like East Kent, you wouldn't have anyone outside of Kent being a member. But I don't know. Let's say 15 just to be safe. postcode, interestingly enough, some people can go, oh, use the input mask down here. Press these 3 buttons, and I'll tell you what, let's press yes, and we'll save it, and we'll call it TBL_customer, and we'll press OK. And it's going to say, look, you can use this postcode. I want to show you something here, because it's a lot of rubbish. It's really quite annoying, actually. Let's press finish for that. Notice that, LL000LL. What that means is, the greater than means when we type something in, it's going to do it in the format of 2 letters, 2 numbers, 1 number, 2 letters, all in capital letters. Let's just put a telephone number in as well. And I'm going to deliberately do this one wrong, just to illustrate something. Let's make that a number field. And let's go and put something in. Yep. We've got a drop-down list here, so I'll put Mr. I'll put my own name in there, Phillips, and I'll put 32 High Street. Again, this is made up. I won't have an address line too. I'm going to put Folkestone. No, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put Canterbury. There's a reason for that in a moment. Kent. The reason for it is this. You've got your postcode here. Well, Canterbury postcodes go CT1. So I'm going to type CT1, and I'm going to put a space, because there is nothing to go there, but I can't do anything. It's not letting me do anything because it says I must have 2 numbers. So the only solution to this is to have CT01, and then you can have your 1AA. I'm also going to put something else in here. Let's do a Canterbury number, 01227 123456. I'm going to click away. Watch the telephone number. Look what happened to the naught at the beginning. Because we set this up as a number field, it says, what do you want to have a naught at the front for? Would you write 19019? No, you write it 19. So because it's a number, it says I'm going to get rid of the naught. So we've got 2 problems here. One, you've got to have 2 numbers in a postcode, which for a lot of people isn't the case. You've got London, you can live in N1. And that brings another one up here. If you look in North 1 in London, let's imagine now that Canterbury postcode is N1. Let's type N, and now I want to put a 1. Can't do it, because you have to have 2 letters. I don't know who came up with Microsoft's postcode input mask, but whoever did it, they were an idiot, because it doesn't work. You can actually create something that does work, but to be honest with you, it's a real pain in the bum. So I'm not going to bother. I'm just going to go back into Design View, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to lose the postcode input mask. I'm going to set it to 8 characters, and I'm going to make sure my telephones are actually all now set to be text fields of, let's say, I don't know, 12 characters. I think that's about right. And let's go and put something sensible in. Yes, we'll just press yes to that. And we'll put in CT1 2AA, and we'll put that 0 back on the front as well. Well, which we're going to do now. Just pop that there. And then we have our table of customers. Not particularly difficult. What I'd like you guys to go and do is I'd like you to go and create that table now. Don't bother adding too many people's details in there for the moment. I'm just going to close this down and go back to our relationships, and we're just going to pop that table of customers on there, because what we're going to do is in the next couple of films and videos we're going to have a look at how we join these 2 together. I'm just going to move, I'm going to put them one by one. I'm going to move these right out the way, because I think some people, if you've done this sort of thing before, you just think, no problem, we'll have one table in the middle to record which customer hires which DVD. It doesn't quite work like that. Watch the film next of all, and that'll show you why that's a problem.